to give you solutions to all your home ownership needs. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Naomi Mbuvi. Now, to start us off, this year we've looked at a myriad of things when it comes to experts, construction materials, or even what to do with your interior and exterior spaces. Now, some of you are telling me, Naomi, please, we want to see how the city should be planned. Okay, here is Cyrus Mbisi telling us about city planning. Have a look. I want to understand the bylaws that govern the number of floors that we're able to erect, especially in urban cities.
Basically, these our urban areas or our counties need to be planned. That's the first point. And that planning really identifies where and what you're supposed to put up anywhere, any space within the city. For example, this city has different zones, about 20. And each zone has been defined how many floors. For example, here in Kilimani, at least the current zoning regulation or ordinance stipulate 4 floors. Okay. Yeah, and it's been there since 2006. So there's a point that it needs to be updated. Without updating it, then there's that demand for housing, that demand for developments that really informing a lot of what you're seeing around. Okay. Yes.
Cyrus, there's updating of the bylaws, yes. But also there's the issue of infrastructure and shared amenities, drainage, yes. Water, yes. Barabara. Are we going to update a bylaw and then not take care of these other problems that are as a result, of these constructions?
Good point, and I think that's why, as an industry, together with Kenya Alliance of Resident Associations, CARA, and other neighborhood associations, we've been asking city authorities to formulate the mandated plans. Because Nairobi, I think about 10 years ago, 2013, actually formulated its master plan, the so-called new plan, which is Nairobi Integrated Urban Development Master Plan, which had an horizon of 2030. So today and 2030 is hardly 6 years or 5 years. It's about to expire. And within that master plan or that blueprint, it called for planning, detailed planning now of the specific neighborhoods, specific zones. That has not been done. Okay. And you don't implement such a blueprint without really providing or formulating those component parts of that spatial framework. And then based on that, on those detailed plans, then you develop your zoning regulation or your zoning code. And that is the area that needed to update. Now, for areas maybe from 4 floors to maybe more floors, but it needed to be done because that's the framework that invites all stakeholders to contribute input into the city you want to see. That really renders the vision of the entire city, and I think that gap really has come to hurt this city.
It is really a sad affair, I would say. And you're an urban planner. I want to understand, does the county then have forums of engagement where they need experts like yourselves or even residents associations for public participation? Do they create these forums where we're able to give you input as an expert and also then if you're a resident as well? Because I think that is highly needed because already, clearly kuna shida. Your expertise is required.
Yeah, sure. I mean, how you can utilize the expertise of professional planners is basically to engage them to deliver those plans that are missing. That is how you can engage us. You can engage resident associations by actually asking them what's their vision for their neighborhood.
But is that being done? That is the question. Is that being done by the county?
I think the point is there action to show us that they've been talking and something is being done. If you talk to these resident associations, they will tell you they've been asking for those local plans forever, yeah. I would imagine. But also, I mean, if you also need to look at it comprehensively, do we prioritize planning? Do we prioritize having neighborhoods that make sense and making sense, I mean, that have all these services, facilities, infrastructure, playgrounds, and all that.
I like what you're saying. It's about prioritizing. What is a priority for whoever who's concerned, for this planning? In your opinion, what then do you think the problem is?
Basically, because county governments are also governments, they need first to set the budget for planning. And the budget setting is not the role, the function of the governor. Basically, is actually the member of county assembly. Is the people we elect as MCAs. Are they petitioning the executive through the governor to budget, to set this budget? And I will tell you, there's this joke going around the country that a plan is seen as makaratasi, seen as a map.
Yeah. It's a piece of paper.
It's a piece of paper. And our politicians have got into this hobby. They want to cut tape. They want to invest in things that are seen. Someone wants to launch a road project. Someone wants to launch a borehole. But no one wants to launch a map or a plan. Yet, that's the thinking. That's where the thinking of how the city operates, how the city is going to operate.
That is what
now
they need to launch.
The future. That is where the thinking is needed. And that is the first thing any serious government, any serious governor would want to launch as the first activity of the administration once they get into office. Yet it's not being done.
Cyrus, even as we conclude, I'm looking at Nairobi even from here, and is it only Mijengo? How do we expect to see Nairobi look like? What's the future of Nairobi if this is the trend so far?
Certainly, I mean, if you project this, then you expect Nairobi to be more dense in terms of more such kind of buildings, high-rises. And you expect that the problems that we face of the backlog of infrastructure and all that, I think you expect it to worsen. So if you're getting water 2 times a week, you expect to get it maybe once a week. And these roads then become impassable over time, because now you're adding traffic, you're adding people, and you're not expanding the infrastructure, the road infrastructure, the sewerage, the water supply. Basically everything such populations will need going into the future. So I think I would say that it's becoming an emergency.
It is an emergency, a disaster.
It's a disaster waiting to happen.
Okay.
But I think it's not all gloom. I think the county government or national government can prioritize upgrading the infrastructure and also delivering on the planning gap that was clearly there, and also resourcing the implementation phase of those plans was formulated.
Now, when it comes now to individuals, what can an individual do? Because everyone is running to live in the city, the big city.
People are proud to live in this city. I mean, you meet people, they say, I'm from Eastlands, I'm from Buruburu, I'm from Umoja, I'm from, those Jericho, Jeri, such kind of vibe, you know. But over time, I think the community, the sense of community has really been broken. And it's been broken because we are not listening to each other. I mean, the communities, the resident associations are saying, please listen to us. We have a vision about our neighborhoods. And that vision is what actually should inform the city planning and also all these developments you see. You've had a lot of neighbors are exiting.
Yes.
Yeah, they're seeing a lot of these high-rise buildings and then they're shipping out of the city. Why? They've actually been chased or shipped out by the authorities by not doing what they ought to do.
Super, Cyrus, thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you for having me.
Totally appreciate it.
Good day.
Wacha niangalia hapa Nairobi kidogo. Well, super. I hope you've learned a thing or two about city planning. And remember, we all have a role to play. Public participation is one way that you can ensure we are doing the right thing in our city. Let me take a short break. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Now, in the spirit of city planning, we all need green spaces, places where we can go and run, relax, all that. Even in your own homes, you need green spaces. Let's have a look at this feature we did on green spaces. It's interesting how people understand that trees are important, but they don't understand how important.
It is a tragedy.
Yeah. How bad is it?
Nairobi was once that one beautiful city that was just nice. But the economic activities and people just wanted to put up high-rise, we have now become a city of the concrete instead of a city in the sun.
Which is very unfortunate. Now, let's talk about sustainability. World over, this is a conversation everybody's having. What is sustainability?
It is just our ability to use our resources in such a way that we do not compromise the future generations. The ability to use the resources also.
Okay.
We must be conscious that there is another generation that needs these same resources that we have. So we have to use them in such a way that we will not compromise. So we don't deplete. We must be able to make sure that there is enough for us and for another generation.
Okay. I know you're very passionate when it comes to the environment and
yes,
planting trees and initiatives. What are some of the initiatives that you have that are helping us then sustain the ecosystem?
We have been doing a lot of activities, planting trees in government forests, in institution lands, and even at the coast where we do a lot of mangroves. So that is one of the initiatives that we have. Then there is another initiative which I call Plant My Nine, because we need to be environmentally conscious of our lifestyle. Research has shown that a human being requires at least 7 to 9 trees in your lifetime for the oxygen that you breathe in.
Only?
9 trees, mature trees.
Okay.
One tree can be able to give about 18 people enough oxygen in 1 year. So wherever you go, wherever you are, make sure you have your 9 trees. And I say this is how we plant them. Don't just plant anyhow. So you do 3 fruits, you do 3 indigenous, and you do 3 ornamental or exotic, depending on where you are. If you're in Nairobi, you may not need firewood. So what you need are the ornamental trees for beauty. Okay. So if you mix the 3 types, you will have a beautiful ecosystem, a beautiful place that you can just be able to sit and relax.
Tulipewa mazingira ndio najua watu wanalala badala ya kwenda kupanda miti. So that's a very good thing you've said. Just take the day, plant your 9 trees.
Plant your 9. Yeah, just plant your 9.
Aya. Now,
and there is nobody who cannot afford 9 trees. Yes.
We have a growing demand for housing in cities like Nairobi. How do you ensure it's sustainable, even with that demand for growth of housing?
When we are planning, especially our urban centers and our cities, we must incorporate green spaces. There are different ways of incorporating, green spaces. Like now, let's talk of like now a Karura forest.
Yeah.
You know, this one now serves quite the city in such a way that is the carbon sink for the city, you know. But now that Karura is only on one side, what about the other sides? One of the things that we can do is when you get your little plot, I'm sure that plot can fit 9 trees. When we are planning the estates, then on every plot, let's say you were to plant only 2 trees in front of every house, okay? Look at how that estate would look like. It will be a leafy suburb. But today, what do? You make sure there is nothing, not even a flower, nothing. So if we can also encourage using even the potted plants, you can, a lot of people say, I don't have somewhere to plant. No, you can get a container and plant your
on your balcony apple.
Yeah, on the balcony, on the front, on the frontage of your house. You can do all that. And then you can even incorporate herbs so that you don't just plant the tree. Why don't you also do herbs? And herbs, you can just do them even around that tree. When you go and you rest under that tree, you'll be doing a lot of justice to your health.
To your health, yeah.
Where we have the concrete, why are we having concrete all through? Why can't we have trees spotted along the concretes? So those are the kind of things that we must be able to look at. And I would ask the county governments, one of the things that the county governments should be doing is to make sure if you have a business, before you renew your license, make sure you have your 2 trees on front of your shop, whether it is permanent or in containers. That way, we would have a city that has the resemblance of green space.
Jadida, can you imagine a Nairobi without skyscrapers, without high-rise buildings? How would that be?
That would be heavenly. You would walk when you are breathing fresh air. You would walk when you are not in this kind of sun, you know, and that wherever you walk, you are walking under the shade. That would be heavenly. But unfortunately, you can see that we are already, the skyscrapers are now actually going almost now to 50 floors.
Yeah.
And, the demand for housing. But, you know, there is a way that we can look at how do we then improve our environment. And one of the ways that we can do, now that we may not have a Nairobi without the high-rise and all that, we can also look at incorporating the indoor plants. There are plants, particular plants that can give you oxygen when they are indoors. We have those kind of plants. And this is the time now that we need to do and create awareness of improving our homes using the indoor plants. And that will be one other way of, sustainably.
So you're saying this is a responsibility for individuals to ensure?
It's now for individuals, but we need a lot of awareness so that they also get to know how else can I get my oxygen even without the outside having the tree. We have a lot of plants that you can plant indoors, in nice containers, on the balconies, and then they'll still be able to give you some oxygen.
Now, I want to enjoy this kabris tutembe kidogo, but I want to know, they call him Mazingira. Kuna mtu amekupa konkoli?
I have actually been given some awards.
Okay.
The Council of Governors recognized me and they gave me as the Devolution Warrior Award. I was also given the Head of State Commendation, recommended by the Kenya Defense Forces. I was also nominated among the top 100 most impactful women on this platform of environment.
Okay. Give a parting shot.
You must be very, very conscious about the environment conservation. Because if we continue at the speed that we are destroying our environment and cutting down trees, in the next 10 years, and I'm not a prophet of doom, a prophetess of doom, we are going to have a problem with water. We are going to have more diseases because, the trees, they help you with your mental wellness. So when you do not have this kind of a forest, then your stress increases. Some other diseases, they will increase. Because some of the diseases we have is because of the pollution that we have. So if we can be conscious about being mindful of the ecosystem, then we'll be saying that the future generations to come, they have somewhere they can call a planet that is habitable. This generation of from the years of the 1960s, I call it the generation of sin. It is the generation that has cut off trees. They have done it, without thinking about tomorrow. And I say, whenever I speak to them, I tell them, you first start by saying, I am sorry for what I have done. I have messed the ecosystem. I have messed you. At times I tell them, speak to the trees and tell them, you had neighbors, which I do.
Okay.
And we must return these neighbors. That is why I say, plant my 9. Be very conscious. Just do your 9 trees and let God do the rest for you. That is what I would say.
Asante sana, Jedida, I appreciate.
Thank you so much.
Sasa, let me go take care of my mental wellness and izile muti pale.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Asante
I appreciate it. Okay.
Super. Remember, your space is your responsibility. Sustainability keeps us healthy for a longer period. I hope you've learned a thing or two on how to keep your spaces green. Let me take a short break. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Now, when it comes to our spaces, security, technology, wanasemanga technology. Smart homes are the way to go when you need security in your home that really does not need interference, does not need physical people there in your space. Smart homes is telling us, please, use these gadgets to open your windows, to open your curtains, to open your doors, to muzime mwashe stima. I'm giving you too much information. Have a look. Hi, Irene, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Momosi, so good to see you.
Good to see you too. Momoseo. Yeah.
All right.
Karibu.
Thank you very much. Now, I'm really intrigued about smart homes, but I want to tell me, what do you do?
We are in home automation business. My name is Irene Ndenya. Yeah, I'm the proprietor, Smart Home Audiovisual Kenya Limited. We've been in business for over 10 years. Yes.
Super. A lot of people want to say that smart homes are futuristic, but I don't think so. What do you think?
They're not futuristic. They are now.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the idea or concept behind smart homes?
But the concept behind smart home is connected technologies and digital systems that makes living more simpler, efficient, comfortable, and luxury.
Okay.
Yes.
How does it work?
It works through connected appliances like smart lighting, heating, security, AC, multi-room audio, dedicated home cinemas. Yes.
Okay. You're talking about integrated. So are they like in one platform, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, they can all be controlled from one platform, either on the touch panel or your gadgets, or keypads that are mounted on the wall.
All right.
Yes.
Maybe you can show us an example of how that works, the integration.
Yeah. An example is this tabletop touch panel, and this is the Control 4 touch panel. Control 4 is a high-end brand from US.
Okay.
You can see it has listen, it has lighting, it has shades, that is for curtains, it has comfort, that is for AC, it has intercom.
Okay.
And then again, you can program this to whatever you want to achieve. Like if I press on listen, I'll be able to like listen to whatever music that I want to.
Okay.
Lighting, I'll be able to either switch off on or ramp up or down, play with the intensity of the light.
Okay.
And this can also be done on your phone. For shades or curtains in the house, you will be able to open and close at a specific percentage. Like if I want to close the curtains, these are the curtains.
Okay, they'll close completely.
Yeah.
So you, depending on how you want them to open or close.
Yes. Like you can open them to like 50% or 60% or yes, or 100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, when you have this controller, you're telling me I can be in Shags controlling my Nairobi house?
Yes, you can be also in US and controlling all this.
Okay.
Yes.
This needs what, internet, or how does this work?
It works with, you must have internet for it to work.
Okay. Let's talk about security. How also do you incorporate security of the home in this?
Yeah, you still can incorporate security, and that is alarm system and CCTV cameras. You'll be able to view them from this touch panel or from your gadget.
Okay.
Yes.
So what people prefer, this or just a cell phone?
A lot of people who have this system prefer this touch panels to their phones.
Okay. Now I can easily then do that manually. Why would I go for a smart home?
Yeah, number one, smart home system gives you, number one, there's luxury. Number two, there's efficient. Number three, it gives you the ability to view your home wherever you are. Regardless of wherever you are, you'll be able to view your home. You'll be able to view who visited your home when you're away. And also, it saves on electricity bills, because if you leave lights on maybe in your bedroom or in the sitting room, it alerts you that, because the system can know that the house is locked because you have smart door locks and everything, and you're not home. So it alerts you that the lights are on this, or the bathroom lights are on, and you'll be able to switch off from wherever you are. So yes.
Okay. And let's talk about backup and also loss of internet. Kama hakuna internet, will I still be able to access the system? And does it have a backup?
That I will have to introduce my technical guy.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let me hear from him. Karibu sana. I've been told lazima maneno niongee na mtu wa technical ndio anaelewa.
Welcome.
Karibu.
Yeah.
Please just introduce yourself nijue at least jina mtu wa technical.
Yes, of course. So my name is Wycliffe Oguta.
Okay.
I'm the technical engineer for Smart Home.
All right.
Yeah.
I was speaking with Irene and she was telling me about smart homes. And I was asking her about backup and also internet ikipotea, what am I supposed to do with my system? How does it could have backup?
Yes, of course. We usually get all these questions all the time. So basically, when there's an issue with the internet, the system can work locally without the internet. So it does not really require internet for the system to work. But in case there's no internet, you can still control the lights, you can still, basic functionalities, you still have access to those.
Okay. So there's an option of manual, there's a manual option in it.
Yes, yes, of course, yes.
Okay. Now, security is incorporated in the smart home.
Yeah.
How secure is this system? Can I hack it?
The system itself is actually very secure. Control 4 itself, the company, has implemented layers of security within the system. So we have two-factor authentication. So a normal user would need a username and a password to log into the system. So the two-factor authentication will require the user to use another form of authentication to access the system aside from the username and the password. So that will mean a fingerprint, a biometric, maybe your bio data, your fingerprints, your face, your facial data, or as well you can use an NFC card to access the system.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like to see, at times I prefer seeing, seeing is believing, to see how this kind of system works,
sure.
especially for your audio visual. But even as we get to that and as we conclude, I want to understand updating. How do you update your systems? Najua mimi simu yangu lazima ushinde update to refresh.
Yes.
Does that apply as well for the smart home?
Yes, of course. So Control 4 periodically release updates. It's around 6 months. So these updates, the client does not need to do that. We do that for the client. And then we do not necessarily need to come physically to the site to do the updates. You can always do these updates remotely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Updates and servicing is the same thing in the servicing?
Yes, it's more or less the same thing, yes.
All right, super. Nionyeshe mali kuna audio visual nisikie.
Welcome. Sure.
You go? Okay, sawa. Okay.
So this is Experience Center. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So we'll just start from here. So here we have an in-wall touch panel. So when you enter the theater room, you can start by first turning on the lights. So I'll just turn on the downlighter.
Okay.
And then I'll just turn on the strip lights.
All right.
And then we can walk in,
Walk in.
since you can see your way in.
Okay.
Just open the door and then...
So this is a theater.
Yeah, so this is a fully featured Control 4 home theater.
Okay.
Yes. So basically, I will start with what we have here is a motorized curtain. It's been implemented, or rather integrated into Control 4 in such a way that you can use the remote to control it. You can use your phone, or you can use the touch panel that we just saw at the door. So I'll do a quick demo so that you see the functionalities of Control 4. So this here is a Control 4 remote. So it's meant to eliminate all the redundant remotes, maybe remote for the TV, remote for the receiver. So we remove all that, then you have one singular remote for the entire home theater.
Okay.
So this single remote can control lights. Then from the remote, I can also control the curtains. Yeah, so we can just open the curtains right now, and the curtain will open. So ideally, you want to have control, everything controlled from the remote.
From one device, from
Yes.
a remote moja to a...
Yes, for simplicity, for client simplicity, we usually have one single remote for everything.
Okay. So for the TV and for the sound system, is it all operated from the same remote?
Yes, sure. So the sound system, the TV can all be controlled from the remote. So that means the volume, switching inputs, like you have let's say you have a media player like Roku, and you want to switch to that input to watch your Netflix, your YouTube, etc. All that is done from one single remote.
Okay.
Yes.
So telling me all these remotes then are rendered useless by that one remote that you have?
Yes, of course. All these remotes are basically put aside, and then you have one single remote for this entire system.
Okay. The room is soundproof, is it?
Yes, of course. So every home theater that we do, we recommend soundproofing. So this improves obviously the sound quality, the sound, how the sound basically travels inside that room. It of course cancels the bouncing of the sound, echo, etc. So most of our home theaters, we actually do soundproofing.
Okay. Yeah. I want to listen to a bit of this niceness. But before we get there, I want to know when someone needs your services, where can they find you?
Our website is smarthome-home.co.ke, basically smarthomekenya.co.ke.
Fantastic. Thank you for staying with me today. You told me to bring you certain conversations. I have done that for you. And please do not stop there. I want to hear, what do you want me to feature on this show? Who do you want me to bring on this show? And for sure, I will do that for you. The number is 22422 on all my social handles at Naomi Mbuvi and at The Land and Property Day. Until next week, have a fantastic